You see my point? He regards himself as above the law, like his father figure, Castro. So why would he wait until the Emergencies Act was debated and voted on? He's a strong man now. They fired the Ottawa police chief the other day. No reasons given. I think we can guess why. He wasn't prepared to get violent against peaceful protesters. So they found a cop dirty enough to do whatever Trudeau tells him to do. It's not too hard. I mean, promise a guy a promotion, promise him legal immunity from his misconduct. I mean, many of the good cops have left the force, either being fired or they removed themselves for not going along with the past 2 years of bullying. So the new chief will follow orders. He'll do whatever he needs to do, like canceling Parliament. Like I say, the police raids today did not wait until Parliament was done debating. They just canceled Parliament. The police told Parliament not to meet. It's not needed. I mean, the decision-making is being done by the police now. Parliament really is just a hood ornament. The police canceled Parliament. Last night, they started arresting trucker leaders, in this case, Tamara Litch, the young Métis woman who got the convoy going in the first place. So peaceful protest leaders just arrested on the streets, swooped up, picked up by police cars, and told to scram. And then this morning, the Ottawa police, just assuming their role as the unchecked dictators of Canada, no peaceful protesters allowed at all. They will just arrest you on sight. Oh, and no journalists, thank you. I mean, it's best if you just trust the police to tell you about the police. After all, if you don't need Parliament and you don't need protesters, why do you need journalists? Here's the police threatening our people.
Keep the peace! Keep the peace! Stay calm! Stay calm! We got this, boys. We fucking got this. I got your back. Don't get aggressive! Don't get aggressive! Throw your hands! You pledge to freedom.
Thank you, bro.
Don't let them take Watch out! Fucking bomb. This is fucking Get those flags out of the way!
Guys, I gotta get out of here. Thank you, bro.
You can tell who's aggressive, who's the one that's aggressive.
You have no jurisdiction here in Ontario. Je sais pas quoi dire. Regardez bien ici.
You guys are committing treason!
It is my pleasure to be this close to you.
Get the gas!
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. I'll reach out to you. Thank you, guys. Please, bro. Thank you so much. This guy just pulled me out of there. Thank you.
cdtv.ftl on Instagram. I love this dude.
Thank you,
He's doing
man.
the damn work for all of us.
Thanks for looking out for me.
I love you, brother. Hold the fucking line, boys!
So like I said yesterday, Trudeau's hatchet man is the dirtiest cop in Canada. My story today was going to be a premonition about what Bill Blair would do, but it happened before I could finish telling you the story. I'll just give you just a little taste of it. It made international news, Bill Blair. Let me read a bit. Toronto police pay $16.5 million to protesters wrongfully held at 2010 G20 summit. This article is a few years old. Let me read it to you. Claimants to receive up to $24,700 in historic settlement. Police encircled 1,100 people and carried out mass arrests. Well, that sounds familiar. Let me read some of it. About 1,100 protesters who were wrongfully detained at the 2010 G20 summit in Toronto will receive compensation from the city's police force after a historic $16.5 million settlement in a class action lawsuit. Under the settlement, which was announced late on Monday, each claimant will receive between $5,000 and $24,700, depending on the nature of their detention. They will also have their G20 protest-related records expunged. Thousands of protesters traveled to downtown Toronto to protest against the convening of the G20 summit. The causes were numerous: anti-globalization, anti-poverty, pro-environment, pro-gay rights, and the protests leading up to the Jan 26-27 June summit were peaceful. Okay, now can you spot the difference? Here it is. During the summit, however, police cars were set on fire, and a small band of masked protesters incited vandalism and violence. In 3 weeks of peaceful protests in Ottawa, there has not been a single police car set on fire, has there? No violence at all, has there been? Of course not. But the police responded by encircling more than 1,000 people, including peaceful protesters, onlookers, and journalists at various locations, and carried out mass arrests. At one point, hundreds were kettled in a torrential downpour and left to shiver in the cold. Video footage at the time also showed officers using excessive force, tear gas, pepper spray, and rubber bullets against protesters. At the makeshift detention center, detainees were strip searched. In 2014, Vice reported that the police trained surveillance cameras on the strip search rooms. Ottawa court judges later found that the police's actions contravened the protesters' civil rights, specifically their charter rights to expression and peaceful assembly. So humiliating people by strip searching them and filming it. How could a police chief who did that ever have a job again? Well, precisely because he did that. Because a tyrant can count on such a man to do whatever needs to be done to crush Trudeau's opponents without any compunction, without any regard to the law or conscience or ethics or morality. Being a corrupt, dirty cop is exactly why Bill Blair was chosen by Trudeau to handle the truckers. The dirtier, the more corrupt, the better. So they're doing the same thing. Here's one of the convoy leaders, Ben Dichter. He said, breaking Ottawa police are boxing in protesters and executing mass arrests, once again escalating the situation and not allowing people to leave in peace. Why are you always escalating? Of course they are. They're going from truck to truck with heavy weapons, training violence on Men, women, and children, threatening them with guns, and the media are pushed back, and really it's straight out of a police state. These are technically police forces, but they have military-style uniforms, military-style weapons, armored vehicles, and what Trudeau would call assault rifles. To be used against whom, by the way? That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.